2023 sketchbook. I think I started this one like almost exactly a year ago, maybe a little more than a year ago. I don't know why I didn't do a tour earlier. Anyways, yeah, I cut out some greeting cards, and then this was from like endangered wildlife stamps. A lot of Gustav Klimt tape is throughout this one. I remember drawing these right after I had gotten my Hieronymus Bosch art book. These are some of the little creatures, demons or whatever, from his art, his depictions of hell. Most of what I draw is just original characters. If something doesn't make sense, it's because it's an inside joke. And here's some turkey vultures. Apparently, I kept seeing them at the park, and then I drew this like human version of a turkey vulture when I was testing out my Ohuhu skin tones for the first time. Apparently this is what I draw when I go touch grass. And this was referenced off of that like emo anime girl figurine that was everywhere in the past. It's not historically accurate to anything, but it's kind of 13th century France inspired. Armor-wise, I have like a book of armor I sometimes look at and get inspiration from. And then this is a bunch of sketch dumps I glued into here, and these pages really can't handle anything. It's just a cheap sketchbook from Daiso, but sometimes the cheaper it is, the more it motivates me to just do whatever I want in it. So I just did that, and this totally wore off, but it was a ticket to Across the Spider-Verse, and I remember this was like not that long before I went to see the Barbie movie. And here's too many self-portraits, and if you see a dog, just assume it's my dog Ginger. And these are like stickers from a Animal Crossing sticker book from like Target. And I really don't like how many colors are going on here. I don't like the way this turned out in general, this one, honestly. A lot of these I don't like, but I think it's just a sign that I've improved really fast since then, because this was only a year ago, and in the grand scheme of things, a year isn't that long when it comes to an art journey. But yeah, this is a goldfish. Not much to say about this. I think it's very 80s new wave inspired. And then like this was when I was thinking about wobble dogs all the time. After I was one day playing it all day, and then like this might have been right before or after I got Pikmin 4, and this is a character you'll see everywhere throughout here. I don't usually draw her with purple hair, but this is Mouse, and she's just everywhere, just like my default character to draw. And this is one of my personal favorite sketchbook pages I've ever drawn ever. Not like, I don't love gore or anything, I don't know why this one is just so satisfying to me. I think it's the combination of like panels and just going crazy underneath. But this one feels like it has almost a theme to it. And here's like a Yume Nikki sweatshirt that I would really want in real life, and yeah, just a lot of disjointed things on the pages, but I remember being proud of this because I didn't do pencil first, and I felt like I was really improving at anatomy, which I slowly am. And this page I really never liked. I was just dissatisfied by it, and slowly got the motivation to get better at hands around this time maybe, but this is still maybe not great, I don't know. Like, yeah. And I would definitely do this one differently now that I know more about color theory. It actually makes me mad how much I rushed through this one, because I feel like it could have been a lot better, but the colors just make me sick. It looks like sherbet colors going on here. I remember it took me 3 hours though. I don't know if I think I liked it until I colored it. And then I might have like taken a time lapse of this and then thought it wasn't worth posting. But yeah, here's Mouse again, and then her friend that's next to her in a lot of the pictures is Arlo. I really like how these turned out. They were just referenced from Pinterest, and as you can see, I just really like drawing suits a lot. And now we're going horizontal, apparently. I think this was when I was like on a... So there's some world building going on here, and it's just a lot of ink doodling, and then maybe this was when I played Katamari Reroll, or like right before then or something. I'm just a huge fan of the Katamari soundtrack, and I just listen to it whenever I need energy. I just like anything bossa nova adjacent, and yeah, just a lot of ink sketches, and I think my side profile drawing abilities are better now than this, but this was when I was slowly improving on head anatomy and what have you. And I really don't like this kind of coloring now. Like, it takes me back to like 10 whole years ago, this where it's just pure alcohol marker. And I just really like lately like using a lot of light colored alcohol markers and then putting crayon on top. I still like this tape. I still have some left, and this is some tape from an art store that doesn't exist anymore, so it's really bittersweet to me. This is Lorelei, by the way, Mouse and Arlo. I don't know if you care about their names. So yeah, I was totally struggling with these skin tone alcohol markers, and it's just not right at all. This one's kind of neat, and maybe this one I did okay, but I was just adjusting to them, trying to figure out how to use them properly. This sketchbook, there's a lot of learning going on, like just a lot of improvement, hopefully some improvement. I think I was like stagnating for a while still. There's like periods of stagnation and periods of getting better maybe. And anytime there's these darker lines here, you know, it's because I wasn't planning to ink it, and it's totally from 6B pencil. I really like how this character design turned out. He's a combination jester executioner, and I feel like it's pretty distinct, and I feel like distinct almost automatically equals good character design. I'd like to be proven wrong. I mean, I'd like to talk about it, but I think it's just one of those images that came into my head, and I was like, yeah, I gotta get that on paper and out of my brain. So this was character designing for a comic I worked on for like a month, and then decided I didn't like the concept and wasn't attached to it at all. But it was not a waste of time, I don't think, even though I abandoned it, because when you're drawing someone from a lot of different angles, like, because you're putting them in these situations, you learn a lot faster, because instead of being stuck drawing faces over and over on your sketchbook paper, because there's these scenarios you put them in, you end up drawing a lot of different poses and everything more, and so you improve a lot faster. And I guess this is a self-portrait when I first got my Posca pens, just some craziness going on. It's just, I feel like nobody else that I've seen on YouTube like writes sentences in here as much as I do. Almost no one else, but hopefully I'm not the only one. And oh my god, the anatomy is so incorrect here. I think I was just totally still being affected by Dunning-Kruger effect last year, and like you just don't even realize how bad you are until you really improve a lot. I hope that's not a discouraging thing to say. I remember posting this, I mean like on YouTube silently, and here's some more Posca fun. It's like, I think these stag beetle horns would be a cool concept to evaluate on, and this is kind of Siku Kikuo inspired, if you know who that is, like song producer that uses Miku. Yeah, I make fan art of the most random things. This is from that movie, The Seventh Seal, and it was just because I really like drawing chainmail armor. I liked the look of it for a while. I'm kind of out of that as a phase now. Now I'm just more still attached to drawing suits. And I wanted to draw something cute, so I did, and I remember feeling very unsatisfied throughout these next few pages around here. Just feeling lost about my art style still. So a lot of this is just me trying to find my art style less than a year ago. And this page, for the most part, is just me thinking about what if Miraculous Ladybug was actually good. And this is how I would design her, probably. That's all. And, like, here's someone with... I feel like I always either go too fast or too slow through these pages. I don't know what to do. But anyways, here's somebody with fairies, some 6B pencil doodlings with, and then, like, as you can see, I totally wrecked this page with watercolor and some more, some kind of character design I feel unsatisfied by, but I feel like the concept of it has potential. And I knew the anatomy here is incorrect, but I just like the shapes. I really like the inhuman look of it, so I just went right over it, even though it was incorrect. I think it was just a warm-up, and I just like the bold colors going on here that are still somehow coherent with each other. I took a color theory, a little tiny class from, like, Florent Farges. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, and he, like... And it was the one through Gumroad, and I have such a hard time absorbing information, so I don't know if I learned much from it, but I really recommend it. It's just so mind-blowing. Anyway, here, something I based on a photo. Yeah, a real photo. I think I took this, 12:30 at night after we saw the Barbie movie. And then, I was insufferable, and back then I kept saying, "What's Poppenheimer?" And I don't know who this man is, sorry to this man. And this is me, because last year, I was always wearing glasses that had a yellow tint to them. And then this is, Dedismoln from Hilux. I think this was right after I finished playing the first game. And I don't know if I like this page still. Just my default when I don't know what to draw is just like naked or nude. I heard in art there's a difference between naked and nude, but anyway, nude women with, like, you know, Barbie doll anatomy. And yeah, that's my go-to when I'm stuck. And this one's kind of moody, right? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I still like this. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm just neutral. And then, here's a little more fan art. But these are my characters. This is Pango and Ida hanging out with the sheep. But these sheep are from, I think it's called Cheering, The Ringing Bell or something. And it's a really old anime film about a sheep that wants to turn into a wolf. And that's a very brief synopsis, but it's very tragic and beautiful. And I really liked it. It was so sad. And... oh, the colors here are atrocious. It was like, just mess me up, Chief. I mean, but I don't know how to feel about this, because I feel like I didn't even realize that I still didn't totally grasp face anatomy. I think the horror of realizing how little I knew would have shocked me too much, so the Dunning-Kruger was still in effect in my brain. And anyways, this was copied from a very popular image of a Gibson girl. But I was so proud of it at the time, and then this is like all character designing for the world building thing I'm doing. It takes place on another planet, and it was initially very much Dune inspired. And then some really random crappy doodles, and I remember doing pencil here first, and this was before I could even come close to getting some fairly clean lines, like inking, and I just didn't feel like it. Yeah, I like this hand for some reason, but yeah, I just didn't feel like it. Like, it takes so much focus and energy to do really clean lines, and sometimes I don't even like how they look. Like, I want the humanity to seep into every little line that I draw, and sometimes you can't get that if they're perfectly clean. I like to, like, add a little horror and scratchiness, I don't know. So it's kind of about how much you want to add. I'm just getting distracted because I hear voices outside my window. But this one I'd posted on YouTube, I mean. And I still really like the way it looks, because I was so choosy about the colors, and when you use the same colors throughout the whole page, it's just naturally coherent. And then here's Hylix fan art, and then, you know, Pikmin 2 and some real swans I saw in real life in OC, and then just the tiniest amount of Puparia fan art in the corner. It's the most beautiful short film I've ever seen in my life. It's on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, pause this, go watch it now, come back. I'll still be here. And I think I hear someone outside. Anyway, there's like a, I just saw this cleaver and I drew a blank, but I just can't remember if this is a self-portrait technically. But I get these images in my head sometimes and I can't get them out, so I just draw them, like this one where this, and it's supposed to be like stuffing coming out of his neck, like a teddy bear. Yeah. I was so upset about this because this looked so cool in my head, and then I kept messing up the big blocky ink practice. I did it better recently and I posted it, but I mean this style of shading where it's just pure black. But if you mess up while on paper with this kind of thing, it's like you're done. And the colors here are questionable. I guess this is mouse as a balloon animal or something. I remember really cracking myself up with some of these pages. And here's some more ink sketches. The hand is way too small. And then, you know, fashion always pretty much directly from Pinterest, if not like, a lot of medieval inspiration, like jesters and stuff, I guess. Yeah, I posted this, and it was hard because at the time it was hard to not obsess over the analytics. It always is, maybe. And then as you can see, I'm trying more directly, consciously now, sort of copying places and just in general working on finding my art style. And I don't know what this is. I guess I wanted to use every single color I knew of. There's just too much going on. It's before I learned color theory, but you know, I know I can just do whatever I want in these. I think I want to reemphasize that. If it's not clear, that's my philosophy about this, because I mean, I feel like my art style is kind of all over the place even now that I pinned it down, but it's just how I am. And if you limit yourself, you're going to keep getting art block over and over and not be able to finish, not be able to get through any sketchbook if you need everything to be perfect in it, I think. But I still like this page. I was getting better at using the skin tone markers, oh hoo hoo. And I felt like I was getting closer to an art style I really wanted. And it was all about finding what sparked joy in my heart, really. Like sort of a Marie Kondo kind of thing mixed with other advice I'd heard. And as you can see, these made a mess. This is chalk pastels. I still can't touch it. It's just everywhere all at once. Yeah, and the interesting thing about using different mediums is it will change your art style because it changes the way you apply the lines on the paper. And here's my Jester Executioner again. He doesn't have a name. I thought maybe this is what he looks like with his mask off. And more trying to pin down what I wanted my true art style to be. And some more sketches, you know, without any color or anything, but I really like this page because I was getting better at hands and everything. I felt like I was finally drawing good enough for someone my age, but that's a ridiculous thing to say because we can all start whenever we want, but it's like so hard to not compare myself. Anyway, I guess that's the end of this one, and the back side is just not decorated and so 2023 to 2024. I did not decorate this one, as you can see. I gave up at the beginning of decorating this. I felt like I ran out of like the kind of stickers and things that would make good decoration. I want to buy some more stickers soon, actually, and really get back into the decorating aspect. So for some reason I decided to cover the back of the cover with trash, and this was so much funnier in my head. And then this one I posted and then privated again. I just feel like all the words that were coming out of my mouth weren't making any sense, but maybe I'll let them be, maybe I'll, you know, unprivate them in the future, just because, just when I become less embarrassed of existing, And here's some dogs that are gourds, and I'm still on the night craze. And here's like, what's her face? Well, it was referenced off of me. That was the main way I learned anatomy, and really the only catch to learning anatomy based on just using pictures of yourself is that everyone will end up looking at least a little bit like you. And that's just affirmations, and then practicing with different dip pens. And here's me from a really strange angle, and just a lot of different little character sketches. So there's me again, just as anatomy practice. And this was going to be an Inktober thing, but I was so scared of ruining it, messing it up. Let's look at the hands. Let's appreciate how I'd improved already. This was October of last year, and then you see the little spider? Well, not little, but I was going to add that. And there was a lot more lashes going on, even though I still draw eyes the same sort of shape nowadays. Like, my art style back then was like, I don't care what your gender is, you're getting lash extensions. I don't know why I was so set on that. So, just some fun little doodles of girls experiencing existential crises. I don't know what this is, No Pants Monday or something, but my dog looks so cute here. And then here's a little hidden drawing. I just didn't like how it looked, so I covered it. But it's like, it's from last year. One of the only times I'd really gone lucid in a dream. I recognized her, because it's like some of the only times in my life I've gone lucid, the same lady appears, and I just assumed it was my subconscious itself, but I don't know. Because I get this weird feeling that she knows more about me than I know about myself. And, in the camera, she looked different. I think she looked young in the camera, and then every time I looked at her, she had a different face, and she was, like, changing age and race and everything. It was insane. I couldn't pin her down, so I was trying to draw what I remembered. And this is the horrible memory of dumping all of my ink. Yeah, there's so much yapping on every single page. And here is another sketch dump with like Energel ink pens. That's what I use for like everything, writing, journaling, doodling, hate mail, you name it. Here's my character Reina. I started to do like little detailed robotic arms and then gave up. And I showed this to someone one time, like on my phone, a picture of it when we had nothing better to do, and they said it had like Voltron Sailor Moon vibes, which I've never really watched either of. Well, I've seen Sailor Moon in passing on like Pluto TV. It's just, like, it's super random in stream of consciousness, but I just assumed everyone else's sketchbook is like that too. And then I just sort of like do bloodletting of my emotions into this, or just, well, really mental images, not necessarily directly emotions. I feel like the emotions I channel in here are like really unconscious. Like, I realized later what I was doing. But when I have a mental image stuck in my head, I draw it and it gets rid of it. And it's like with this, I had this stuck in my head. This is my back. This is me on a Tuesday. And more ink practice and the tragedy of 23, the spill of 23, if you will, and just having fun with the dip pens. And then this was an Inktober thing I posted, and it looks like a woodcut or something. I feel like just my art style totally changed when I did this weird different shading method. Not much to say about it. I just like the vibe. It's like, yeah, I just draw these little garbage hairs. And this is my OC Xiao, and then towards the end of the sketchbook, when it's closer to, or in this year, you'll notice she looks totally different, or at least she has a really different haircut, and that just automatically changes your whole personality, right? And this was my icon for a while, and as you can see, I was dealing with this ink, I was mourning, and yeah, this is Cade. I don't know if you care about their names. I don't have like much lore to say right now, or I just don't want to. I feel like I'm in a hurry. And I felt so awkward posting this because later on I was like, since I referenced myself to make this, isn't it practically like me just sitting there nude? Like, it's just too weird. In my mind, I don't know. In the future it wouldn't be, but like it's just awkward when it's like people I know in real life are following me. I'm really overthinking it though, because I'm not fazed by any kind of artistic nudity. But like, I don't know if other people are. I don't know how they all individually feel about it, and I need to know everyone's feelings about how they feel about every single piece of my art. Anyway, this is more doodles. I was kind of kidding. It definitely affected me when I was younger though, when people were like, oh, that's too dark, why are they angry, why are they sad, and all this, and I felt like everyone around me was making happier looking art. So then I was afraid for a while to show any art to anyone that I knew in real life, because people just were like disgusted by the emotions in my art that they saw. But honestly, sometimes it says more about them than it does about me. As you can see, this has like kind of a whole different vibe than a lot of the art I usually draw. It was sort of a commission of sorts. I don't want to go into it, it was complicated. Yeah, some more intergelling pencil drawings. Did this. I think this was like at the beginning of this year now. And I drew this after I finished watching Violet Evergarden. I forgot I even watched that in the first place. And then, like, I guess the costumes in it, the sort of costume aspect of the character designs were really cool, though. Self-portrait, did I say that? And then this is Raina. She looks like she's running the relays, but, I think it was going to be kind of Dune inspired, but then I didn't feel like finishing this, but I feel like this shows I was getting a little better at anatomy in general. So, oh, that's kind of neat. And this is when I biked 4 miles after not biking in a while. This is what my legs felt like. And then I had the weirdest, like, low blood sugar crash, extreme nausea thing waking me up in the middle of the night, and that was awful because I didn't give my body enough fuel or anything for that random little trek. And then I went back to this page over and over to add more and more building details, like kind of a little wind down exercise. Yep. So here's another little self-portrait, a quick one. And then my cowboy, referenced from a photo that might look familiar to you if you use Pinterest a lot, from a while ago, but yeah. I didn't feel like finishing any of this. I don't know. And then here's me practicing hands. Like, the thing is about it, I feel like I was perfectly capable of drawing these hands last year, but I just still didn't have, like, the patience or, like, the faith in myself that I could, because I feel like some of it is just, like, teaching yourself to persevere, like, that's part of improvement. I don't know. Am I explaining this right? And, here's, like, a character I came up with. I think I was gonna name her Hecate, and then this was something that took a while, as you might be able to tell from the details. It's like, it was supposed to be Dune fan art, but like in the style of the manga Blam, and so that's that. I like how this draft turned out more than the final one. And then this one was gonna be cool if I'd ended up rendering it. I think it turned out okay though, despite. I mean, I think I still like it even though I didn't finish it. I would have added a lot of like fishing related detailing to this frame, because this character's whole deal, part of it is her being a fisher. And then the ocean would have been right here and I would have done some pin practice, but then I just totally lost interest and I could not. And some like sort of monster designing. I'm like leaning forward to make sure this is all in frame. This is as far out as I can zoom it. And this is like a jacket from Yes Style. And then like really random hairstyle practice and, you know, a possum because I love possums. That had to have been from reference from like a random Instagram account. Whoa! Mouse again. And like, here's her as a child and a slightly older child. And, oh, here's like a fun simplistic self-portrait based on a selfie. What's under here? I don't remember. Oh, I see. And here's Arlo. This took like 3 hours and I thought it turned out good, or like I was proud of it back then. And there's some cross-hatching going on. I was getting better at that here, I think. I really need water. Hold on. Ugh, okay. I just noticed the Meowth here. I was testing the pen, I guess. Yeah, so she cross-hatching, and then this was based on like a statue I saw on Pinterest, and yeah, there is actual cross-hatching on the darker parts. It's not just hatching. So don't go in my comments saying, actually it's just hatching because you ate. And there's Chani. This was the other part of the drawing. Yeah, this was both the drafts, and then I like moved it over to Bristol paper with carbon paper, you know, transferred it, and then I didn't like it, but at least I like these drafts, and yeah. And here's like a doodle of Mouse again that I posted. It's, by the way, it's not her real name. And her slightly older, she has that wispy hair that kind of flips out if it's short because it's kind of thick. There's just so much yapping because I feel inclined to just write whatever. Did I mention how this mixed media paper is a joke because it always says like can handle anything including watercolor on the cover, and then if you actually put watercolor on so-called mixed media paper, it cannot handle it? That's how my current one is too, and it's from a different brand. Anyway, here's like a pencil sketch of Arlo. I took a time lapse of this too, and then here's other versions of Mouse that I did before it got ruined with water. I mean different ages and then some more different ages. That looks very 70s, doesn't it? And here's another character I designed for the comic idea I was working on. I did the first chapter, I'd finished it, and then I decided I didn't like the idea, so very recently I figured out a new plot that I want to rework it with. For a while I'd given up on comic making, but I think I just needed an idea that resonated with me more, so I will probably continue. There's like some random lame Iwakuras here. Sorry, I just didn't even try to pronounce that right. Oh, let's look at this sideways for a second. Oh, that's just Arlo looking pissed. Okay. And then here's, what is this? Oh, this was a comic page I had to redo because the ink was too thick. And then here's another drawing of Xiao. And then Mouse, when I started to get into my obsession of drawing bandages. And look here, I was trying to manifest my hair getting longer. I was so tired of it being short. It's still kind of short, but it grows pretty fast. That's me and my dog looking at you. Oh, and this was a fun page. I feel like this is when I started to get good, kind of, or I started to feel more satisfied with my current art style. A little bit random, as usual. And, like, it's just, I don't know, it's just fun. Like, what is that? I don't want to explain that. I can't even. Here's Xiao again, and she's tossing Turnip Boy up in the air. I don't know if you've heard of this game. I just played Turnip Boy Robs a Bank like half a year ago or something. She's holding a head. Not much to say about this. I don't know, it just is what it is. Like, I think this is, did I mention Lorelei earlier? This is her with a different hairstyle. And some alien creature, unnamed. Yeah. So here's me with rabbit ears, I guess. Some of the stuff that doesn't make sense is just song lyrics. Like this is from a Bauhaus song. And yeah, I think I'll keep my rabbit icon for a while. So this one I was really proud of after I made it. I think it's pretty good. Something about it ended up kind of adorable. I did want her to be an adorable character, even though she's literally armed. By the way, this is Xiao. What is this? This is another really random page where none of the things are related. Well, this is Arlo and Mouse, but, you know, looking a little bit different. Is that everything? There's a few more pages. A lot more, actually. How much longer we got? Oh, geez. I'm kind of dilly-dallying. Yeah, this is them as kids, and it's like a self-portrait here. And I was just practicing doing, like, different ages, because I feel like that really expands my skills. And here's, yeah, it's practicing heads. For some reason I realized it's easier for me to draw heads if I draw a box first. And, yeah, just character designing, that's all. And, like, some doodles. I actually like this page a lot. I mean, that's why I pasted it in here in the first place. And here's the, like, most intense sketchbook page I've ever done. Do you like it? I can't decide if I like it anymore. I mean, I think it shows some skill here. Like I really went all out this time, but I don't know if I even like it. I don't draw eyes this intense lately. Xiao with, I don't know, with an apple? Maybe I was getting psychic visions of the Brat album coming out. And then, like, me practicing the Loomis method with Arlo. And then I posted this one. I don't remember if I kept it up. I haven't looked on there in forever. I'm, like, scared to open my account. Yeah, I don't know. There's Lorelei. Another page I barely remember drawing. You know, pasted in here. Another little sketch dump. And then me trying to design Arlo's cicada-inspired car. And very Egon Sheila-inspired sketches, and my OC Frisket screaming at the top of his lungs. Okay. Then, oh, I just realized, this is like my second time flipping through this today, but I just realized that's probably Gumi, the Megpoid. My favorite. Linkin Park lyrics. And being really random, again, because it just feels right for my brain. Usually I can do this and then do something that requires more concentration. And here's a dragon. Here's that painting I forgot the name of, but it's pretty recognizable. And this is when I busted up my knee. So I was wearing this knee brace because I fell and, like, my knee went out of place for a second, and that was awful. I think it still isn't the same. Like, my left leg feels less strong than my right leg. I can only do, like, a negative pistol squat on balancing on this leg still. But anyway, this was a doodle based on a panel of Look Back, that manga that's, like, turned into a movie now. Really old OC here. You see she has leaf hair. It was a plant-based life form I thought of when I was a lot younger. Like chlorophyll-based people that need sunshine to live or something. So, oh, that's the end. Whoa. Okay. I hope I inspired you. I really do. I really hope so. I don't know if I'm capable of that, but I hope you have fun drawing. Bye.